Hello, welcome to our open drawing session today. Today there's the Celtic tree of connection. Connection because it's everything about connection. Short presentation about Celtic culture and Celtic tree of connection, just to get us in the mood. So when we think about the Celtic tree of life, of course we remember those intricate designs, the Celtic knots that we're all familiar visually. And probably the Celtic tree of connection of life, it's most known. Scholars argue whether this image evolved, where it came from. Maybe it was adopted by the Celts from the north, because the Norse people believed in Yggdrasil. It's another tree of life, tree of existence. What does the Celtic tree of life represent? The symbol shows a tree with wide branches, and quite often it's connected at the very, the top and bottom are connected with intricate Celtic knots. Well, the stylized branches of the tree often mirror the bottom, the root system. And quite often they connect and they represent like a circle of life. That happens because the tree symbolize connection between heaven and earth. And the Celtic people recognize the balance and harmony between the sacred and the ordinary, interconnectedness of nature and spirituality. So this, with the tree that's connecting with the knots, top and bottom, is the symbol of connection, the Celtic symbol of connection. So while they're connected, there's a connection through the trunk, but they also have a close. When we show in the drawing that we're going to draw today, it's closed completely, like a complete circle. So there is also a question about the Celtic people, who they were. The Celts live across Europe, and contrary to popular belief, they were not Irish or Scottish. The origin of these people is not known. They lived all over Europe and part of Asia, and they consider this white people, Indo-European race or nationality. It's thought that around 500 before New Era, they moved to the island, now it's considered Ireland, and they dominated its earth and settled, and that probably lasted until around 400 New Era, until the arrival of Christianity, when Christianity was strong in the the Byzantine Empire. It spread around Europe very quickly within that time. So, and if you can see on the map how they were settlement, how they moved approximately, they believed that that was a migration of the Celt people. And now the very, very small part of the population, there's some Ireland and the Scottish that speak their regional language. The tree was prominent in Celtic culture, and they believed that the trees held the spirits of their ancestors. They believed that the tree of life represents balance and harmony, and also they regarded the root system as a doorway from the physical world into another dimension. So when we talk about Celtic knots, we can recognize some so-called endless mystic knots. They have no beginning or the end. There are courses, many courses to teach how to draw them, but we will not draw them, we will outline them. And today's class, I would like to show how to create any image into a NeuroGraphic art image. Celtic knots is a series of overlapping interwoven knots without beginning and end. It's believed that they start to appear in Celtic art around the second half of the 5th century, or maybe later. So they symbolize the Celts' belief in eternal life and human relationship with the natural and the divine. So it's all about connection, never-ending, self-nourishing connection. And that's what I've chosen this symbol to represent our weekly inspiration connection. That's my drawing. It's done. It's on purpose. It's printed light, so we can draw our lines on it. And the explanation how to draw the neurographic lines and around the corners is available online for free. So first the tree. So I can see the outline, but I will start drawing. So what we do when we see an image and we want to convert it into neurographic art. Today's class is neurographic art. You can use it more, you can extend it and make it NeuroGraphica drawings, because images are also accepted in NeuroGraphica. They can be, especially such a, symbols are accepted. And also I would like you to, before we start drawing, of course, think about your theme of connection. Not just abstract connection with what you would like the tree to represent connection, your personal tree of connection. So I would like to, my tree of probably connection with, a stronger connection with life, being able to stay conscious of this connection, aware of this connection. So that connection doesn't mean that we're, I'm drawing with a, you can draw with a pen. There was a question, what are you drawing? I'm drawing, it's not a pen, it's a fine, it's a liner. It's a marker. It's a little bit thicker. It's 1 millimeter. It's like a fine marker, but not liner. So it's dark blue, navy blue. So for this, when you outline the images, it's depending on the size of the drawing, it's either a fine marker, like with a, or a fine liner. Something between 0.5 to 1 millimeter, not wider than 1 millimeter. So the one I'm using, Figma Graphic 1, it's 1 millimeter. So the one I printed now, yes, I suggested printing, but if you do not print it, there's also possible to draw this drawing, and like something like this, the drawing today that we printed, but also this is another image that you see that I created with idea of the line, so you can draw the lines and connect them top to bottom, and then make it around just using the neurographic lines without the actual, without the design. So that's also could be, this is Celtic inspired tree of life, but freehand. So how we do about it? We just use our fine liner and these lines, marker fine line, we outline, like you see these images, with using the neurographic line. So, and when I outline, I just move my hand slightly, staying like close to the line, and I take it. So if I would like to show a connection, I will try to go in my lines from bottom up and again round, maintaining this idea of connection, of never-ending lines. Mm-hmm. And once again. It's a slow process. So now you can start from this heart image. moving again. Continuing with the knot. You can, a path that your marker chooses could be anything. If you have a leaf, you can outline the leaf. So for those who do not have a template, it's not a problem at all. It's even more interesting. So you can create, like, outline a circle. It's for those who do not have the template. Freehand, about this size. And then you can start drawing. I can imagine this will be approximately the trunk, starting with the roots and kind of branches. And here you can create any wavy design that you want, like representing that endless connection. So the shaping your tree and focusing on, at this time when you're drawing like this, you may try to, it's like a meditation. So I'll continue from here. Drawing the lines, focusing on the movement of your marker or pencil. Make sure that your hand doesn't repeat the line movements of the, it doesn't create a pattern like a straight line. Some lines could be double. Oops. And then maybe a leaf here. Another circle loop of the endless. So the best way to meditate on this drawing is to try to distance yourself as almost like observing yourself from the back, like if you're watching yourself drawing it. So I go with the heart. Again, I can outline it again. I let my hand choose the pattern, what line I'm. So the idea of using images in NeuroGraphica is making this connection through the neurographic line. When we look at the drawing, and of course there is an idea behind it. So I'll just draw. Yes, I will include some leaves. But no elements are separate, so they're all connected with the lines. When we outline something with a NeuroGraphic line, we form a connection. If it's a symbolic image, with the image what it represents. And again, up. So most of my lines end from on a circular, from up, from bottom up. So you do not need to outline all of them. So when you're satisfied and you have enough lines, yes, you can start rounding as well. You can stop, you can start rounding, then add more lines. So this drawing contains no conflict. So rounding could be done as much as you feel comfortable. Not every line, but based on your individual feelings. So this kind of drawing is probably good to do at the end of the day to relax. In a way, it may remind you coloring books where design unknown. And you can focus on the meditative aspect of this drawing. There are many lines, many intersections, so we may not be able to do all of them in this class, so it will be time for you to work on your own. Yeah, there was a comment about nice feeling, nice and relaxation to retrace the lines. So you're not restricted to these lines. You can add the lines on your own. NeuroGraphic lines can be free. So a suggestion, if you would like to feel more protection from outside, you can strengthen this outline, the tree, make it a little bit thicker, this line. And of course rounding. how to protect what's within the tree. Similar to the mandala. And of course, because we're still drawing NeuroGraphica, and we would like to experience its connection to the world around us, we can draw lines. If you're familiar enough, if you would like to make it more neurographic, you can connect your tree to the background by adding extra lines, connecting the tree to the environment, which is represented by the page. I'll just take some trees and draw them outside the mandala. So those who took part in our Taurus mandala a week ago, you can recognize this shape, that tree that creates a toroidal field. As I'm feeling relaxed in my, you can probably observe that the movement of your marker becomes slow. The shape is less hectic, more smoother. When you feel satisfied that you have enough lines for now, you can always add them more. You can always continue working on this picture. You can also, like, for example, I have the same color liner with a finer pen, so I get almost the same color. So some lines I can add even with a finer tool. Just make sure that it's blended, it's connected. So the two colors are not separate. This is darker, dark blue. I think black can work even better. Okay. You can play and see what the colors work better for your drawing. And also we can, like when you're satisfied with the drawing at this stage, we can start integrating it by adding colors. Oh, if you're not familiar with NeuroGraphica, it's a concept of integration. Just apply colors, the one you like. It's like use your intuition and feeling good. And you can take on your pencils, colors, and feel which ones you feel more connected. Maybe I feel like I want to do something because the drawing is mostly blue. I would like to add a little bit more color, yellow. The tree is symbolic, so it doesn't have to be the green or brown, the trunk brown. It could be any color. So how we apply colors, I first apply them lighter, less pressure. Of course, you can color individual leaves if you have some elements. You can add flowers, other elements. You can color outside, inside. So I'm testing my colors. So since this is a NeuroGraphic art, and you would like to experiment with other colors, you're welcome to use watercolors or paint, gouache, pastel. So I like adding also watercolor pencil. These are regular pencils. These are watercolor pencils. So this will probably have this. You can advance in this drawing. So those who you want to use as a NeuroGraphica, you're welcome to add the field lines. The field lines are supported, but I do not feel that I need field lines in this drawing. I like it that it's it's strong enough by its own, and it seems like the energy is coming. It's like like perpetual mechanism, device for producing energy. It's coming in and out. So maybe that feels like a toroidal field that creates this energy. So I will continue adding make it nice. The colors, we'll clean the colors. We'll finish the lines. Maybe add more lines depending how I'm feeling. And then I will include the final drawing in this video and the edited video. So question, what does the roots and trunk and top of the tree signify? Very good question. So it depends. It really depends. In some traditions, the roots represent the past, the trunk, the present, and the ground, the future. Sometimes also in psychology, it could be our subconsciousness, that's us, like personality, and our imagination, intellectual capacity. There could be other interpretation. It could be like in Celtic tree specifically, it could be, this is like outer world, and this is the connection with between the ancestors and the current, connected, again, the past and the future connected by the present, by the trunk. So you can, in this drawing, you can, 3 stages. It's also the Celtic tree represents a life of rebirth. It's like a tree. It's a symbol of the cycle of life. So you can also add your own interpretation. Yeah, so you're welcome. The template will be available if anybody would like to reuse it. But you can, this is the first time I'm drawing with a template. The previous 2 times I did it on like a freehand. One was more like a circles, like drawing lines, and one I really attempted to draw the design. It was challenging. So I'm glad it was. It seems like a simple exercise, but it could be powerful. Like I feel like very much I felt a little bit anxious for some reason this morning, and now I'm feeling so totally relaxed. Good luck. So if we have no questions, we will finish this class. Thank you again, and good luck with your drawing.